This is Radio Taiwan International. Welcome to the news on Radio Taiwan International. I'm Michelle Chang coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan. We begin with a look at today's top stories for Friday, February 13th. The signed U.S.-Taiwan trade deal signals a new chapter of deeper bilateral cooperation, according to President Cheng-chi. Taiwan analysts give their take on Japan's political transformation. And the Foreign Ministry welcomes the European Parliament's move calling for deeper security ties with Taiwan. But first, today's top story. Taiwan and the United States officially signed the Agreement on Reciprocal Trade with Taiwan, or ART, on Thursday, local time. President Cheng-chi said the agreement is a major step forward for national interests and breakthroughs. He announced the presidential office will establish a national economic, quote, steering group where he will serve as convener to navigate structural economic challenges. The president reviewed the successes of the ART, including tariff reduction to 15% and securing most favored nation status for semiconductors and related products and materials. However, Lai also said that this agreement marks 5 major breakthroughs for Taiwan as well, which will drive industrial and economic upgrade and transformation. Lai pointed out that through the ART, Taiwan will reverse previous trade disadvantages from the lack of a free trade agreement with the United States. Second, Taiwan will align food safety, industrial standards, and economic and trade systems with global norms. Third, establishing a Taiwan model in the United States will facilitate closer integration of Taiwan's semiconductor and ICT prowess with leading U.S. AI industries, while also incorporating economic reliance and supply chain resilience, which will make Taiwan a key player in establishing non-red global supply chains. Finally, the ART partnership will allow Taiwan to become integral in the U.S. goal of bringing manufacturing back to the country, while allowing Taiwan to expand further into the global markets. The president urged the legislature to cooperate, saying that the cabinet will do their part by submitting the ART and the U.S.-Taiwan Investment Memorandum from January 15th for review. He urged lawmakers to fully support and expedite the passage of both documents and welcome in a new chapter of a deeper Taiwan-U.S. economic and trade partnership. Japan's Liberal Democratic Party won a record 316 seats under Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi.
Japan's 51st House of Representatives election delivered a political shift. Under Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi, the Liberal Democratic Party has secured 316 seats, crossing the two-thirds threshold in the 465-member lower house and setting a post-war record for a single party. With the Japan Innovation Party included, the ruling bloc now controls 352 seats, more than three-quarters of the chamber. At a Victory News conference, Takaichi described the vote as a referendum on national security and economic reform. She called it an election that staked her, quote, political life, saying voters have now given the government a clear mandate to carry out its policy shift. The result hands Takaichi a powerful legislative base to push security and foreign policy changes, as this year marks the 10th anniversary of former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's free and open Indo-Pacific vision, a framework Takaichi has pledged to deepen. On China, she reaffirmed Japan's position to pursue a strategic, mutually beneficial relationship while responding calmly and firmly in defense of national interests. Her remarks on Taiwan last year, that Taiwan contingency would also be a Japan contingency, triggered economic and diplomatic pressure from Beijing. Analysts say that pressure has strengthened domestic support. Taiwan-based scholars describe the outcome as a decisive shift in Japan's political direction, away from centralist ambiguity and towards strategic clarity. For now, Takaichi appears firmly in control. The question is whether this sweeping mandate will translate into lasting transformation and how it will reshape East Asia's balance of power. Joey Chow for RTI News.
The Foreign Ministry on Friday welcomed a European Parliament report urging the EU to deepen security and defense cooperation with Taiwan amid concerns over China's challenges to European and Indo-Pacific security. The full European Parliament on Wednesday approved the report on EU Strategic Defense and Security Partnerships 2025-2119 drafted by the Committee on Security and Defense to advance EU security and defense partnerships, the ministry said. The report highlighted EU vulnerabilities from over-reliance on China for critical raw materials, citing China's support for Russia's wartime economy. It urged the EU to reassess economic ties with China via de-risking measures to bolster resilience and counter China's role as key enabler and supporter of Russia's aggression. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Xiao Guangwei said,
"In the future, our country will continue to deepen exchanges and cooperation with like-minded countries, such as the EU, in relevant fields, jointly responding to current security challenges and promoting regional peace and global stability."
The Foreign Ministry stated in a Thursday, February 12th press release that the name of the Taiwan representative office in Lithuania is a consensus reached by both sides, and neither government has discussed changing the name. This was in response to local media reports that Lithuanian Prime Minister Inga Ruginienė on Wednesday said she does not rule out renaming the Taiwan representative office in Vilnius to the Taipei representative office. The Foreign Ministry stated that Taiwan and Lithuania are partners who share democratic values. It indicated that it will continue to work with the Lithuanian government to promote mutually beneficial cooperation in areas including lasers, semiconductors, and finance, aiming to deepen bilateral economic and trade ties and strengthen the resilience of both countries' democratic economies. In a Lithuanian national radio and television interview also on Wednesday, senior advisor to the president Asta Skaisgirytė pointed out that though diplomatic circles had discussed that the most thorough way to restore diplomatic relations with China would be to not merely change the representative office name, but to close the representative office entirely, she emphasized that Lithuania has no intention of doing so. She said they are optimistic about the achievements and prospects of cooperation with Taiwan in the economic, scientific, and cultural fields. The Central Weather Administration, or CWA, reminds travelers to be mindful of weather impacts over the Lunar New Year holidays. The 9-day festivities begin tomorrow, February 14th, with traffic congestion on both roads and public transportation expected to break records. As a high-pressure system moves out to sea south of Japan over February 14th and 15th, temperatures are expected to rise across Taiwan. Except for some scattered showers in Hualien, Taidong, and the Hengchun Peninsula, most areas will experience cloudy to sunny weather between 22 and 28 degrees Celsius. Only Mazu will see temperatures between 12 and 17 degrees Celsius, while Jinmen and Penghu will see temperatures between 15 and 24 degrees Celsius. Travelers are advised that dense fog will occur over a wide area, including central and northern Taiwan, the Taiwan Strait, and Jinmen and Mazu, potentially affecting transportation. CWA Section Chief Lin Pengyu stated that,
"From tonight until the eve of the Lunar New Year, central and northern Taiwan, and possibly even southern Taiwan, including Kinmen and Matsu, special attention should be paid to the impact of dense fog on visibility."
Drivers, especially those traveling on elevated roads, should exercise extra caution. Those traveling internationally should also check flight information. A frontal system will pass through from February 16th to 17th, accompanied by the southward movement of the northeast monsoon. Cooler, wetter conditions will affect all of Taiwan, with temperatures dropping slightly by 2 to 6 degrees Celsius. In western outlying islands, highs and lows will drop to 8 to 18 degrees Celsius. To mark the Lunar New Year, National Park Administration Director General Cheng-chi announced at least 15 special events held daily across Taiwan's 9 national parks and 1 national nature park during this year's 9-day holiday from February 14th to 22nd, excluding New Year's Eve. Activities will span lectures, markets, concerts, photo exhibitions, cultural performances, and hands-on DIY workshops. Highlights include the 15th Wild View Taiwan Film Festival's special screenings at Sosan National Nature Park, featuring 20 films from February 17th to February 22nd, and a challenge game in Luarmen Tianho Temple in Tainan's Taijing National Park on Lunar New Year's Day, with 700 limited edition commemorative coins as prizes. Interior Ministry Deputy Minister Dong Jianhong encouraged visits to experience Taiwan's biodiversity.
Most bees in Taiwan are solitary bees, living alone, which is quite interesting. Our bat research, including that in Shepa National Park, is world-renowned. Taiwan's ecological diversity is very rich, so we welcome everyone to experience Taiwan's biodiversity and beauty during the holiday.
He said. To avoid traffic jams, Wang recommended public transport, especially shuttle buses to Yangmingshan National Park, where flowers are currently in bloom. Thanks for joining me for the news. I'm Michelle Chang. Stay tuned for another 50 minutes of English language features brought to you by Radio Taiwan International. Cash for everyone. The government is giving out 10,000 NT dollars. It's easy to claim. Choose direct deposit, ATM, or post office. Check details at the official website 10,000.gov.tw or 10000.gov.tw or call the free hotline at 1988. Stay alert. Don't trust unknown sources. This advertisement is brought to you by the Ministry of Finance.